When we walk into a house, our eyes usually go straight to things like the paint color or maybe the countertops in the kitchen. But what if the real secret to a home that just feels right isn't about what you see, but how you move through it? Today, we're going to look past the surface and really dive into floor plans to see how they secretly guide pretty much everything we do at home. Have you ever had that feeling like you're running an obstacle course just to get your groceries from the car to the kitchen? Or maybe you're trying to get some sleep, but it feels like the living room TV is basically in your bedroom? Yeah, if your home ever feels like it's fighting you, you are definitely not alone. Well, a lot of the time, the real reason for that frustration is hidden in plain sight. It's the floor plan. It's this invisible blueprint that controls how we move, how we interact, and, ultimately how we actually live in a space. And that brings us to our first big idea. A truly great floor plan isn't really about the building at all. Nope. It's about the life that's supposed to happen inside of it. Good design always starts with you. So think about it like this. Before a good designer even thinks about drawing a line, they're thinking about you. What do you do every day? Are you an early bird, a night owl? Do you love having people over, or are you more of a homebody? Because let's be real, a floor plan for a young family with kids is going to look totally different than one for a retired couple that loves to entertain. So how do designers actually take your lifestyle and turn it into a physical layout? Well, they use this really simple but super powerful secret weapon for organizing space, the 3 zones. And I'm telling you, once you see this, you are never going to look at a house the same way again. First up, we have the social zone. Just think of this as the public-facing part of your home. It's where you have guests over, where you hang out with your family. It's where all the gathering happens. Next is the private zone. This is your personal space, your sanctuary. It's where you go to recharge your batteries, to find a little bit of quiet, and just, get away from it all. And finally, we've got the service zone. This is like the engine room of the house. It's where all the work gets done. The cooking, the laundry, maybe there's a home office in there. These are the spots that keep your daily life running smoothly. Okay, let's make this real. Your living room, your entryway. Totally social. Your bedrooms and bathrooms, those are your private retreats. And the kitchen, the garage, the laundry room, those are the workhorses, the service zone. It seems so simple, but getting this balance right is everything. And this right here, this brings us to the golden rule of floor plan design. You have got to separate the quiet, private parts of the house from the noisy, social parts. This one idea is the difference between a home that feels peaceful and one where you can hear the TV from every single room. All right, but just having the zones in the right place isn't quite enough. You've got to connect them in a smart way. A great plan is all about flow, or what designers call circulation. It's basically the invisible pathways that guide you through your home. Now, here is the most important rule when it comes to flow. Your traffic paths should lead you to a space, not cut right through it. So, picture your living room. If people are constantly having to walk between the couch and the TV just to get to another room, that's a huge design flaw. It just disrupts everything. And hey, here's a number you can actually use. The magic width for a hallway or a path that feels comfortable and not cramped is 3 to 4 feet. Seriously, go measure the hallways in your house. If they're a lot narrower than that, you've probably felt how tight it is without even knowing why. And good flow also comes down to smart room relationships. I mean, bathrooms need to be near bedrooms. That's kind of a no-brainer. But think about the kitchen. If you put it right next to the garage, bringing in groceries becomes a piece of cake. Or connecting your living room to a patio, that doesn't just look pretty. It literally doubles your space for entertaining. So we've covered the big picture stuff, the zones, the flow, but the real magic is so often in the details. These are the small things that are easy to overlook, but they can take a floor plan from just good to, wow, this is amazing. Let's start with storage. This is never just about closets. It's about your sanity, right? A fantastic rule of thumb is that about 10% of your home's total floor space should be for storage. Think about that for a second. That's the real secret to keeping clutter under control and making your home feel calm. And what about doors? Oh, man, we've all done that awkward little dance where you can't quite open a door all the way because it's going to smack into another one. A great plan makes sure every single door can swing wide open without blocking a hallway or another door. It's a tiny detail that gets rid of dozens of little daily frustrations. Okay, we've gone through all the core principles, so now let's actually put them into practice. I want to give you the tools so you can look at any floor plan, whether it's your own house or one you're dreaming about, and see it with totally new eyes. Want to know how this all starts for a designer? It's not with walls. It's with something called a bubble diagram. It's just a simple, free-form sketch that maps out how rooms should connect to each other based on all those zones and relationships we talked about. It's all about connection first, construction later. And this right here shows you the whole journey. It starts with those big ideas about relationships, which get sketched out in that bubble diagram, then drawn up into a real floor plan, and finally, it's tested and evaluated. It's a clear path from how you want to live to the actual home you live in. And look, here's a super simple checklist you can use on any plan. Just ask yourself these questions. Are the rooms grouped together in a way that makes sense? Is there actually enough storage? And this one's huge. Are the quiet zones protected from the noisy ones? This is how you go from just looking at a floor plan to really understanding it. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Take a look at your own home, but through this new lens we've talked about. Is your layout actually helping you live a better, easier life? Or is it creating little bits of friction you never even noticed before? As you know now, the answer is written right there in the floor plan.